Thunder!
Letzte Welle! Gib! Ungeschütztes Ziel! Scheiße! Runter!
You know, since I played Call of Duty Vanguard, and I knew the rumors, I had heard the rumblings, I had heard criticism of Call of Duty Vanguard, with so many fans disliking it, with so many fans saying it's inaccurate, with so many fans saying that it's not realistic, with so many fans calling it cringy, with so many fans saying that the game had a weird feel to it, that the story didn't make any sense, that the plot was weak, that the acting from the characters and the voice actors was bad. So I get it. I get the criticism. It was an awful game and an awful year for Call of Duty. Well, to be honest, could the story have been structured a little bit differently? Yes. Could the story have been a bit better? Yes. But to be honest, I don't necessarily share the same opinion that a lot of you guys do.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
The game was all right to me. I'm not going to say that it was mesmerizing and mind-blowing and it was awesome, but it wasn't a bad game. Not to me. It was enjoyable. Maybe it's because I spent a lot of time covering Call of Duty. Maybe it's because I spent a lot of time playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops, that I was stuck in a circle of Modern Warfare and Black Ops, Modern Warfare and Black Ops. And those were the games that I had been playing to make content for you guys and stuff like that. That going to Call of Duty Vanguard felt different, felt unique, felt good, felt like something that revived something in me, something that gave me a sense of, oh, this is fun, this is different, I like this. And that's what Vanguard did for me. I was able to play it and I noticed the new settings, and it took me kind of back to Call of Duty World War II. It was so enjoyable, meeting new characters that I've never met before, hearing new actors, seeing some of the new gameplay mechanics was fine, exploring some new levels in new areas with new teams. I mean, to me, it was awesome. And not only that, but the game was brutal. Now, I know that a lot of people talk about Call of Duty World at War as being the most gruesome and most brutal Call of Duty to date. And the game is pretty damn brutal. I've been playing through it. I've been playing through the story campaign, and the missions are gruesome. It's tough because you see that and you can relate to what it probably meant in real life. You know, a lot of these things they didn't just come up with. A lot of these things is because they happened during that time, during those wars. And so, yes, the game gives you an incredibly sad and eerie feeling, Call of Duty World at War. But if you go to Call of Duty Vanguard, Vanguard definitely has more of an Avengers feel, a superhero feel. You know, these characters feel superhuman. But if you scrap the story elements, you scrap everything that you know about Vanguard, and you sit down and play the levels alone, and you concentrate on just that level that you're playing for that moment in that setting, and you give your full attention to that, then you have a game, or you have missions that feel extremely brutal. Don't think about what's the objective of this mission. Well, this mission doesn't make sense to the bigger part of the story. This mission feels pointless because by the end of the game, I'm just supposed to escape the prison, so why did I have to play this mission if it doesn't forward the plot in any way? Don't think that way. Just play the damn stories. Just play the level, and holy shit, you might, well, maybe you won't be, but no, it just feels good. I was going to say you might feel mind blown, but to be quite honest, you might not. When a person kind of makes up their opinion about something, they don't want to change it no matter what. Also, if the masses tell you, hey, this is shit, this is ass, you need to hate this because this game deserves to be hate, then most people would just be like, oh yeah, fuck it, we hate it. Now, I'm not saying that you should love this game. All I'm saying is that the brutals and the level and the attention to detail in some of these missions and operations are extremely fine detailed. They're extremely good. I take like one of the first missions with Arthur Kinsley, I think it was his name or something, I forgot right now, but the British leader of the team. He's recounting a story where he was at war and he jumped off his plane and his parachute caught on fire and he ended up stranded and alone. And you kind of have to make your way through this open field, and there's these trees, and you kind of go in the trees and you're kind of moving very quietly. You don't have any guns, you don't have anything, and you see one of your mates, just hanging from a tree, and you see one of the soldiers come by and just stab him in the stomach, kill him, and there's bombs going off in the distance that are scary as hell, because if you have the volume pumped up to the max and the lights are dark and you're kind of trying to make your way through it, so many times during that level I jumped. Why? Because the fucking bomb explosions caught me off guard. They sounded so gruesome, so realistic. And then you hear the screams of your mates. You hear the screams of the Japanese, I think it were. I mean, it was brutal to hear, brutal to see. And you know what makes it even worse is these new graphics. Now, I know that graphics aren't the end-all be-all. Graphics aren't the thing to be, oh, wow. No, but when you have new modern graphics, like the ones that we have now, and you compare those to, say, a mission in Call of Duty World at War, sometimes the difference is, a little bit more night and day, because you're still going to feel emotion with World at War. You're still going to feel like this hurts. You're still going to feel like, oh my God, that's awful. But it's also like, how realistic does it look? Because, nowadays you could see a video game and it seems more like real life because of the graphics. And the graphics in the game, they're so good, they're so advanced that you're doing these missions and things look more realistic. Things look so hard to look at sometimes. And once again, I think this was the Japanese. They came out of the grass in a different mission and they came out just coming to stab you with a bayonet. That shit was scary, because I'm just wandering around like the woods or something, or a forest, and out of nowhere these dudes come out running at me at full speed trying to kill me. And you panic. You try to find a gun. You try to take out your pistol. You try to take out whatever you can to kill them before they get to you. And it's so damn scary. And that happened to me also at World at War, because I was playing World at War and, they came out the same way. So clearly, Vanguard took a lot of inspiration from World at War, from the setting of actual World War II and things like that. And they kind of recreated some things. And honestly, Vanguard did a good job. Did it do it better than World at War? I don't think so. No, right? In delivery and in story and stuff like that. But the levels themselves were incredible. And that's one thing that I don't think, no matter what you do or what you say, you can't take away from the feeling that some of these levels gave you. Yeah, the story can be terrible. Yeah, you cannot like certain characters. Yeah, you cannot like this and that about Vanguard. That's fine. But you can't tell me that the levels weren't at least fun to play in some aspect. You can't tell me that the levels weren't gruesome and terrible to hear sometimes. I mean, the sound design and the way the levels were crafted, very, very nice. And that's something that I personally really, really enjoyed from Call of Duty Vanguard. So when I get hate about Call of Duty Vanguard, people tell me that it was terrible. That's your opinion, and I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. But I also have my own opinion, and I think most people are surprised when I say, you know what, I actually enjoyed Vanguard for what it was. I don't need the game to be this. I don't need the game to be that. I kind of really did just kind of enjoy it. Maybe it's because I don't have any expectations for Vanguard. Maybe it's because I don't really care too much about the studio or expect the studio to give me something, because whatever they give me, honestly, I enjoyed it. Their previous game was at Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and I loved Advanced Warfare. It wasn't the greatest game ever. It wasn't the most historically accurate game, but the levels were pretty brutal. The missions were pretty fun, and the sound design definitely caught me off guard.